Tired of hearing the same ads over and over with AI voices much like this one? Tired of ads telling you to get rid of ads like this? Then subscribe to Matthew Donald's Patreon at patreon.com/Matthew Donald, where you can listen to Paleo Bites episodes ad-free while also getting bonus episodes every month. Yay, capitalism.
Roar, growl, snarl, bellow.
Welcome to Paleo Bites, the podcast that dino blows. My name is Matthew Donald, and each week I and a rotating series of guest co-hosts talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, and so on. This week I'm joined by someone who, whether or not they dino blow or not, is their own business. It's Natasha Krech. How are you?
I'm well. You?
I'm pretty good, man. Look, what a great start to my show. I should point out my mother is in the opposite room while we're recording, so I probably should keep jokes like that to a minimum. She also listens to the show, and sometimes she comes up to me and is like, "Matt, really?" I'm like, "Sorry, Mom." But how are you today?
I am doing well. How about you?
I'm pretty good. We just recording the day after the birthday of America, aka Explosion Fest day.
AKA nobody sleeps at night.
Nobody sleeps, especially the pets, the poor pets.
I know.
Oh, my sister and her husband at their house. They were at their house yesterday, and my dad told me they were watching fireworks in there. And my dad told me that my brother-in-law had to put out several fires in their backyard, set from the neighbors going on. And I'm just like, that's legal-ish. That's like HOA should get on. But then again, it is not. It's not allowed. But people just. It doesn't matter. They just do it.
Every neighborhood has their neighborhood idiots.
Well,
I have several.
Oh my goodness! It's a law that's like really difficult to enforce because everyone just keeps breaking it.
Well, and everybody in my neighborhood has lookouts and a strict no rat rule.
Oh God! Oh, gotcha. So, oh boy,
anyone who's tried over the years has failed.
So the people who tried to rat them out because of the no rat rule.
they fail because those people have lookouts.
Oh yeah. So they're like, we're gonna break the law and we can smell a rat from a mile away. So you know what also could smell a rat from a mile away? And speaking of America, we're talking about Panthera atrox, aka the American lion. Here's a picture of it here.
A very stout beast.
Yes, very stout indeed. Type is a pantherine felid, a group of cats that includes all the modern big cats, but doesn't include the saber-toothed cats like Smilodon. Those are macarodontid felids. So that's a different group.
Makes sense.
It also doesn't include the smaller cats like lynx and bobcats. Those are in the group Felinae rather than pantherine. And they're felines and pantherines. So got it? Good. That'll be a test on it tomorrow. So size 5.3/8.1 feet or 1.6 to 2.5 meters long, 600 to 1,100 pounds, 275 to 523 kilograms. A big cat.
Oh, very big cat.
How big is a tiger? It's about like 600 pounds, right? Like, or I don't know. I mean, I guess we could look it up, but who could be bothered? Oh, you're looking it up. I guess you can be bothered.
Yeah, I can be bothered. Google is a wonderful thing.
I know you don't like AI, but you know what's better than Google now because of all the ads is ChatGPT.
Let's see if I can spell today.
Let's see, because Google, like the problem I have with Google, it'd be good if it wasn't just like every result was a sponsored thing or an advertisement.
Okay, so the average tiger,
yes,
adult males, 200 to 680 pounds, adult females 140 to 370.
Okay, so that's the average though. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so maybe like someone can get bigger, like 900 or something, like the biggest ones. So yeah, like 1,100 pounds, like for the that's this one's that seems like the biggest average of the tiger is the smallest average of the American lion. So. This should have been the spokes animal for American Furniture Warehouse, not the tiger.
Well, they're not around, are they?
Yeah. Well, and also, wait, is American Furniture Warehouse? That might be a local reference. Is it a national registered librarian?
Sorta. What I understand, they actually have stores in multiple states.
Okay.
Colorado just happens to be the central hub.
Okay, so it's like a semi-local brand. It's kind of like Del Taco.
It's based in Colorado.
Gotcha.
It's based in Colorado.
You know what I learned? Like I saw like there was like the biggest companies that were founded in each state. I saw maps of that. The one in Wyoming was Taco John's.
I think it would be a fireworks company.
Oh, maybe it was specifically restaurants. Maybe it was.
Okay.
I think mine was specifically restaurants because, like, yeah, I forget what the one would be for Colorado. I know Oklahoma, it's Sonic. So, all right. So, diet's carnivore, of course. It's a cat. Cats tend to be carnivores. By tend, I mean always. Time, late Pleistocene, 340,000 to 12,800 years ago. Didn't quite make it to the Holocene. And thank God, I say. Location, North America. It's in the name, dummy. Although there would be some controversial finds that indicate it might have gotten to South America as well. But again, that would still fit the name.
Yeah, but it would still be one of the American continents.
Yes, described in 1853, pop culture appearances, the documentaries Wild New World, Mastodon Your Backyard, Monsters We Met, National Geographic's Prehistoric Predators, and Jurassic Fight Club. Has yet to appear in the non-documentary material, it seems, so get on it, Paleo Media. The American lion, I think, is a prime example of like just how prevalent animals used to be all over the place. Like, the range of animals is way bigger than we think. Like, even like now they're limited because of human development to like certain areas.
At least some are. Some have adapted fantastically.
Right. But like cheetahs used to be in not just Africa; they used to also be in Asia and Russia. Like, and in North America. I'm also talking, those are like a different time of cheetah. I'm talking about like modern day, the modern species of cheetah used to have a range that extended all the way to Asia. And
yeah, I do remember seeing something about that somewhere.
And lions, there were some, I think there are still Indian lions, but they're incredibly endangered. Or they're extinct now. I don't know. I know the African lion there's also a few species of African lion. And then there were the cave lions that were in Europe. And this could be considered a type of cave lion, but it's the American lion. In fact, it's so close to Panthera leo that some people say it should be Panthera leo atrox rather than just Panthera atrox. So this would be a different subspecies rather than just species. The European cave lion would be, rather than being Panthera spelaea, would be Panthera leo spelaea. But as of right now, they're both considered separate species, subject to change, as is all things with paleomedia and paleontology.
We'll let the paleontologists argue it out.
Oh, and they will. They'll fight like cats.
Free entertainment.
Indeed. Throw them in the pit and let them fight. Spinosaurus is aquatic. Spinosaurus is semi-aquatic. That's still...
I mean, I've heard of astronomers getting in fistfights over the discovery of dwarf planets.
Oh, of course, as they have. And then, of course, it goes thing where astronomers get in fights with astrologers.
Well, that's just fun.
Astrologers are like, what planets is the source of all your problems? And the astronomers are like, it's Earth! It's always Earth!
Again, it's just free entertainment. The astrologers blame the stars. The astronomers blame science.
Yeah. Well, in a way, we all are stardust. So maybe the astrologers are onto something.
Oh, that's some backwards logic, and I went to band camp.
The whole thing with astrology for me is like, I obviously don't believe in it, obviously, but as long as someone isn't letting it dictate like huge changes in there or huge things, if someone wants to find it a fun hobby, I'm not going to stop them.
Yeah. I'll admit that I find it entertaining.
Yeah.
I've looked.
Wait, when's your birthday?
March 21st.
Oh, so you're an Aries.
But am I?
Oh.
So I actually looked the way you're...
Wait, are you? Wait, when is Aries? I don't know when.
So let me tell you how I found out.
Okay.
I decided, because I was taking a legit astronomy class and we were talking about the 13 zodiacal constellations.
Yes.
The way your horoscope is determined is by which of the 13 it's in, but Orpheus is always excluded because people are terrified of 13.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So there's a 13th zodiac symbol that no one uses. Interesting.
Correct.
Oh.
So I actually looked at which of the 13 zodiacal constellations the sun was in on my birth date. Turns out, smack between Aries and Pisces.
Oh.
So I'm a nasty piece of work.
Oh, so I'm close to Leo. Like I'm a Cancer, but I'm on the cusp of Leo. My mom's a Leo, and she's born in August. I'm born in July. So one of my good friends and actually co-host of the show, Laura Owsley, her birthday's only 4 days after mine, and she's a Leo. So, but again, who cares? Because it's all nonsense. What planet can we blame our problems on? It's always Earth.
Always.
Unless a rogue planet comes in and messes everything up.
Nibiru, right?
Yeah, in that case, it would be that planet. All right, so the Eurasian lions, apart from the modern African lion and this American lion, millions of years earlier, with the American ones having descended from some Eurasian lions that made their way across the Bering Strait, the land bridge between Russia and Alaska. It is believed that some other related cats in the Panthera genus, albeit not necessarily lions, migrate over here then as well, and made their way to South America during the Great American Interchange, where the two continents collided, which later became jaguars. This is why jaguars, lions, and tigers are all in the Panthera genus, despite being on 3 different continents across the world. I've always wondered about that. I always thought that they put jaguar in the Panthera was because it just was a big cat. But no, it's actually closely related. I'm like, but how? It's so distant.
It's pretty nifty. I mean, from what I understand, the American mountain lion is a whole different genus. It's the Felidae.
Yes. It's American mountain lions are actually, they're not big cats. They're actually one of the biggest species of small cats, which is ironic. Because like the great cats.
Considering they are a sizable cat.
They are a sizable cat, but they're not considered one of the great cats because I think all the great cats are in Panthera.
Yeah.
Also, cheetahs are in the same way. They're not considered great cats either. It's lions, tigers, jaguars, and leopards, and all the variants like snow leopards and black leopards, and if anyone wonder what a black panther is, generally it's a leopard.
Technically,
black panther is not real. I mean, a panther is an informal name for most. It can be a name for
any solid black cat.
Yeah, exactly. But
it could be a jaguar.
If it was in America, it'd be a jaguar, like in The Emperor's New Groove. Remember that those jaguars were all black. I think it's because they didn't want to animate all the spots.
Do you blame them, though?
I mean, 101 Dalmatians was hard enough on those animators. That was in the 60s.
That was hand drawn.
Yeah. But no. So, in terms of Black Panther, as in like Wakanda, Africa style sort of thing, those would be melanistic leopards.
Correct.
Same as in Jungle Book, that leopard.
Bagheera.
Bagheera, yes. So, do lions? I'm sure some lions can get black.
I wouldn't doubt it. I imagine it
wouldn't be an advantage in the savannah at all. So it's more like a jungle thing would be better. Actually, in terms of the color, we actually have a pretty good idea what the American lion is. Cave paintings and preserved skin remains suggest it was reddish in color. And these paintings are also never depicted with a mane, implying the males did not have manes like modern African lions.
Okay. I mean, considering the variety in North America's climates and geography, a mane would probably make less sense.
Right. Well, manes in African lions can also be quite varied too. One of the bigger manes are the more successful ones, and then you occasionally get male lions that either have like really scruffy manes or like really small manes. Like I know this was a not to bring up this movie that's a lot of people consider to be quite bad, but in the Lion King live action, quote unquote live action remake,
I never actually saw that, by the way.
Scar, rather than being depicted as with a black mane like he is in the cartoon, which doesn't really happen, but it looks cool. They depict him as one of those lions that has the scruffier sort of manes that are so to make it slightly more realistic with the talking.
Other than Beauty and the Beast, I haven't seen any of Disney's
The Little Mermaid one's
action.
pretty good.
I haven't seen Disney's live action remakes.
The Jungle Book one's great.
Okay, no, I think I did see that one. I think I was bored with that one.
Really? Oh, okay. That one I argue is better than the original. But to be fair, the original's just...
The original was hand-drawn animation.
Well, yeah, but the original's also just kind of... Nothing really happens in it. It's just a series of events that happen to lead to... Well, the live-action one actually has a plot. So...
I think I found myself bored with it.
I mean, look, hey, art is subjective. So I will never disparage anyone for having different opinions about movies. I really like the movie 10,000 BC, a movie that has a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I am not one to talk about disparaging others for their opinions. You showed me Velocipaster, for God's sake.
I did show you Velocipaster. That has a cult following.
Do you know there's a sequel coming out?
Why?
Because it had a cult following. You just said why.
I mean, you want to talk bad dinosaur flicks? Try Dinosaurs and Cowboys.
I've heard nothing but amazing things.
I watched it on Netflix one day when I was bored and
Were
sick.
they like in a mine or something?
In a mine.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And the Cowboys had laser pistols.
I mean, that's cool.
The dinosaurs blew up into slime.
I know that one of the because I saw it on Netflix, and I was looking through it, and one of the images they showed to show it was like a girl in just a modern bikini. And I'm like, yes, the West. Famous for its pink string bikinis.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh man. So all right. So it's also believed that Panthera atrox, or Panthera leo atrox, might not be quite as social as modern lions, but still more social than most cats. Sometimes Smilodon is depicted as a pack animal, but that's more just for rule of cool factor. We think it probably was on its own, or that maybe, I don't know, it's hard to tell. But most cats are not social. Lions are like the one exception. So
Correct.
most cats are solo predators, and most house cats are also solo things. So it's ironic when people get a bunch of them. So form a little clouder.
Well, I actually recently did learn something about house cats, but I don't know if I can re-speak it accurately. But when you adopt a cat and you're not home often enough, you are actually encouraged to adopt two.
Oh, so the cat has a friend.
Yeah, so
that's true of a lot of animals, though. To be fair,
one cat syndrome or something like that.
That's true of a lot of animals. Like if you're not home a lot, it's good to give your animal someone to bond with. That's not you, just you. Panthera atrox, the American lion, hunted deer, horses, camels, bison, mammoths, and many other North American megafauna at the time. It's weird to think about that how North America only a couple 10,000 years ago had elephants, lions, and camels.
I mean, that's pretty cool to think about just as someone who likes to go into the outdoors.
Oh, for sure. Actually, camels apparently evolved in North America.
Oh, interesting.
Which is why llamas, which are related to camels, are endemic to the Americas. So...
but llamas and alpacas are fun.
They are fun, and they spit.
They do.
And they make great... their alpaca wool is quite soft.
I have a couple of skeins of alpaca wool.
Is there any llama wool?
I don't know. I'd have to look into it.
Why is it just alpacas? Do they want that are shaggier, I guess?
Alpacas are really fluffy.
I guess that's true. Llamas aren't. Might as well make a wool out of a... Well, I guess they do make wool out of cows. It's called leather. It's called hide. Oh my god. Sorry, this is a tangent, but that just reminded me. I've been playing Diablo 4 recently. You rolled your eyes. I can see you approve.
We all have our vices. Do you know how many hours in the past 6 months I've spent watching Critical Role?
Oh yes, of course. But so in the Diablo games, you pick up loot, right, as you go on, including like armor and stuff. And I remember one of them said hide pants. I'm like, I don't want to hide my pants. I don't want my underwear to show. I was like, oh, hide pants. I thought it was like an option to like hide pants. I'm like, well, no, I don't want to hide my pants. I don't want my underwear showing.
How tired were you?
I was pretty tired. I think it was like 2 a.m. after I got in. I played it for 6 hours already.
Okay.
Also, another common prey for the American lion is, and we see this animal lots. You and I, well, not together. That implies we go out in the woods together. We don't, but you do, and I see it when I drive. The pronghorn antelope.
Oh,
is
yes.
a very big common prey item for
out
the American.
on the eastern plains of Colorado.
Yes,
I've seen them plenty of times.
And which is weird. They're actually not even really antelope. They're in their own little group. They're like the only survivor.
Them in Henderson once. Now that I think about it, I've seen them once or twice in Henderson.
Oh wow,
pretty darn close.
Whenever I'm on I-25, our highway here, and I drive down towards Castle Rock, is often when I see them, like on the field there, like just that big open area there. But yeah, so the Panthera atrox, though, it's weird to think there was a big lion in America, but there was a big lion in America, and happy Independence Day, I say.
I mean, it is interesting to think that we had more than one large cat species, because most North Americans only think of the mountain lion.
The mountain lion, and then I guess jaguars can get up to Mexico, I've heard.
Yes, their range once even extended as far as parts of Texas and Arizona.
Which is terrifying.
When you think about it, jaguars are not that big.
Yeah.
They're still an apex predator.
Right.
They are bigger than a Canada lynx, which I have seen.
Mm-hmm. Well,
they're smaller than a mountain lion. They're between a lynx and a mountain lion.
Interesting. Because, that's because what is a jaguar really hunting? It's hunting big stuff. It's not hunting anything as big as, I guess it could hunt llamas, but more hunt, like, the peccaries and other pigs and other stuff.
Gonna go after prey.
Deer, like, whatever South American deer there are.
Yeah.
But, lions go after... they don't go after adult bull elephants, but they do go after elephants a lot of times. They go after
water buffalo?
Water buffalo, they go after zebras and wildebeest.
Think about this. In North America, the moose has very few natural predators.
Except for the orca.
Well, and a grizzly bear, and a polar bear.
Yeah, do you know? So, have you heard of?
I've heard of the orcas.
Yeah, it's great. Moose is swimming in the islands in Alaska, and then
realistically, not a lot on its own can take on a healthy, full-grown moose.
An
American lion probably could have done it.
Well, it's easy to forget. just how big things
I
are.
will never forget how big moose are.
Moose are enormous. They're
terrifying.
freaking dinosaurs. Like,
They are terrifying.
you watch a movie and you see a guy riding a horse, and you're like, oh, that's just a guy riding a horse. You see a horse in real life, you forget just how huge they are. And then they talk about camels, people riding camels, and then like, sometimes when I talk about specifically pterosaurs on this show, since we all know that Quetzalcoatlus was like a 40-foot wingspan thing, we hear of these ones like Tethy Draco or like Sungaripterus that have only a 12-foot or 13-foot wingspan. And we're like, that's still freaking massive. Are you kidding me? Like, I once saw a great blue heron fly up in my backyard there, and it only had a 4-foot wingspan. And I was like, oh my God, that's enormous.
But they're about 6 feet tall.
Yeah. So
I've seen those up close and personal.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, that's enormous. So like, imagine 3 times that wingspan, and that's a small pterosaur.
People forget just how formidable those creatures would have been.
Well, 40 feet is the height of a brachiosaurus. So
I have driven trailers that are 48 feet long, so imagine that as a wingspan.
Oh, God. Like, that scene in Jurassic Park where they're looking at the brachiosaurus?
Yeah.
Imagine a Quetzalcoatlus flying where it goes on its side as it turns, and so its wing is touching the ground, the other wing's up the air. It would be the height of that brachiosaur.
Which is impressive.
Like, that's ridiculous. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about just a freaking lion, which I'm going to give, because we're right at 1 of 65 million, I'm going to give it like a 35 million. I mean, actually, no, that seems a little bit harsh, but I don't know. I mean, it's a bigger, bulkier American lion. It doesn't have a mane, but I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, but I don't know, there could be cooler.
Here's where I'm going to go up. I'm going to give it about a 40 million because
really?
I think they are a pretty cool creature that would be an interesting part of the landscape where it's still around.
I do like the idea, the fact that like it's one of those animals that's like that could perfectly fit in a modern ecosystem. It's so similar to modern animals.
It really could. Just like, having spent the time I have in Colorado's backwoods. I mean,
just
honestly,
watch out for the lions.
Why not? I mean, again, I could see that thing taking on a full-grown elk or a full-grown moose.
Well, I've heard an interesting theory. Well, this is a prey evolving for a predator that's no longer around. And there's another example I'll say later of a predator evolving for a prey that's no longer around. Pronghorn antelopes are almost perfectly evolved. They think that one of the reasons they evolved was to escape those aforementioned North American cheetahs that I said before. Mm-hmm. So that's why they run so fast, like that no predator now can catch them. But there used to be one.
Oh, there used to be, yeah.
And then now they're very hard to catch because they're so dang fast. But then the other thing is like the Siberian tiger, it turns out, was perfectly adapted for bringing down mammoths.
Beautiful animal.
But mammoths are not here anymore. So
no, they are not.
But Siberian tigers are barely.
Barely, yeah.
Speaking of, everyone thinks certain cats are black. A lot of people seem to think a Siberian tiger is almost always white, and that's just not true.
Isn't that? I think that's a winter morph, isn't it?
Yeah, or that's just. I mean, they can be, and there's also like white Bengal tigers. So
yeah,
I've played Zoo Tycoon. So, all right. Well, that's it for this week. If you want to get the whole show, you can contact me at palebytespodcast@gmail.com or palebytespod on Twitter and palebytespodcast on Instagram. You can find me on social media at Matthew Donald Creator on Facebook and Matthew Donald 64 everywhere else. So like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Where can they find you?
So I'm also active on Instagram, and I'm active on this new artisans platform called Kara.
Well, how do you spell that?
Cara.
Kara. Oh, okay.
Yep. On Instagram, you can find me under NK Arts and Crafts.
Yes. She does some great art there. She did the art for my Megazoic books, which you can buy on Amazon for print and Kindle.
And on Kara, you can find me under the screen name Blues Arts and Crafts.
Nice. Now you were talking to me about you want to protect your stuff from AI online. Is Kara does it have like a whole program to keep it from?
A very staunch policy that.
Well, I know obviously you can't post something with AI. Yeah. Do they do certain things that keep AI from using it as data? Or what?
Well, right now,
I feel that's what a lot of would be attractive to a lot of artists.
Newer platform.
Yeah,
so they're still working on some of that. They provide links to things like Glaze and Nightshade.
Yeah, what you said fricks up
in
AI.
In the future, I will be using to protect my own artworks.
Right.
Just because, again,
yeah,
I want AI doing my laundry and dishes.
Yeah,
I don't want it doing my art.
Doing my accounting. Yeah,
I want AI doing mundane tasks in the background. But I digress. That is a rant.
Yes,
for
that is a
another
rant,
time.
and like, yeah, we've talked about that before. Yeah. So, anyways, see, I already mentioned I have a bookstores on Amazon Megazoic because you did the art for that. So, that's basically it. So as we say at the end of every episode of Paleo Bites, this is like a lion, so it does that big. You know, funny though, most lion roars in fiction are usually tiger roars.
Yeah.
Sort of like how most hawk cries are rail-tailed hawks or
Yeah, most eagles are red-tailed hawks.
It's funny to watch the movie Rango, and it actually is a red-tailed hawk in that movie. So it's the correct one. It's making the distinct sounds, but it's the correct version this time. Anyways, bye.